The ocean appears silent from above, but beneath the waves it is filled with sound. Clicks, whistles, pulses, calls that travel for miles through dark water. For many marine animals, sound is life. It helps them navigate, find food, avoid danger, and communicate with one another. Among all the creatures that depend on sound, few are more remarkable than the orca. Also known as the killer whale, the orca is one of the most intelligent predators on Earth. It hunts with extraordinary precision, lives in close family groups, and possesses a level of social complexity once thought possible only in humans. But perhaps the most surprising discovery about orcas is that different groups don't all communicate the same way. In fact, some populations have their own distinct languages, and these languages can be so different that neighboring orca families may not fully understand one another. Why would the same species develop different languages? And what does this reveal about intelligence in the natural world? The answer takes us deep beneath the surface, into a hidden culture few people ever see. For decades, scientists assumed animal communication was relatively simple. A warning call meant danger. A mating call attracted a partner. A signal triggered a specific response. But orcas challenged that assumption. Researchers studying wild populations began noticing something unusual. Different groups consistently produced different sets of sounds. Not random variations, not individual differences. Entire family groups shared unique vocal patterns, almost like regional accents. At first, scientists weren't sure what they were hearing, but years of recordings revealed a remarkable truth. Each family group possessed its own collection of calls. A vocal signature passed from one generation to the next. Young orcas learned these sounds from their mothers, just as human children learn language from their families. The calls became part of their identity, a way of belonging, a way of recognizing who was family and who was not. To understand why this happens, you first need to understand how orcas live. Unlike many animals that leave their parents after reaching adulthood, orcas often remain with their mothers for life. A family may travel together for decades, hunting together, resting together, protecting one another. Some family groups include grandparents, parents, and offspring spanning multiple generations. These groups are known as pods, and within a pod, communication never stops. Orcas consistently exchange sounds. Every moment, every hunt, every social interaction is supported by communication. Imagine spending your entire life surrounded by the same close-knit family, year after year, generation after generation. Over time, shared sounds become traditions. Traditions become dialects, and dialects become languages. One of the most famous examples comes from the Pacific Northwest. Here, scientists discovered that neighboring orca communities speak differently despite living in the same waters. Some groups specialize in hunting salmon. Others hunt marine mammals. They may cross paths regularly. Yet each community maintains its own distinct vocal system. Their calls remain consistent across generations, almost like a cultural inheritance. What's even more surprising is that young orcas don't invent these sounds. They learn them. Just as humans learn speech. This means orca communication is not driven entirely by instinct. It is influenced by culture, and culture changes everything. Because culture can be passed down, refined, preserved, and shared. But why would different groups need different languages in the first place? Part of the answer lies in cooperation. Orcas are highly coordinated hunters. Many hunting techniques require precise teamwork. A pod may work together to herd fish into tight schools, create waves that wash seals from floating ice, or surround prey from multiple directions. These strategies require communication, and every pod develops its own preferred methods. As behaviors evolve, so do the sounds used to support them. Over generations, communication systems gradually diverge. Not because anyone planned it, but because culture naturally changes over time. The same process helped create thousands of human languages across the world. Isolation creates variation. Variation becomes tradition. Tradition becomes identity. Scientists have even observed cases where orca groups avoid mixing with neighboring communities, despite sharing the same ocean. The animals recognize one another through vocalization. Their calls instantly reveal who belongs to which group, who shares their culture, and who does not. It's a level of social organization that once seemed impossible outside humanity. In some regions, these differences have persisted for generations, perhaps even centuries. Imagine human communities preserving unique languages for hundreds of years. Now imagine the same thing happening beneath the ocean's surface. Without writing, without schools, without books, only through memory, learning, and family bonds. The more researchers study orcas, the more extraordinary the becomes. These are not simply predators surviving from day to day. They are members of societies shaped by tradition, knowledge, relationships, and culture. An older female may carry decades of experience, knowledge about migration routes, food sources, seasonal changes, and successful hunting techniques. That information can be passed to younger generations, not through genetics, but through teaching and observation. The result is something astonishing. Different orca communities may live in the same ocean, yet experience the world differently. Because each inherits a unique cultural history. This discovery changed how many scientists think about intelligence itself. For years, humanity viewed language as one of the defining traits separating us from other animals. But orcas challenged that idea. No, they do not speak human language. They do not build cities or write stories. Yet they demonstrate something equally remarkable: the ability to pass knowledge through generations. to preserve traditions, and to maintain identities through communication. In other words, they possess culture, and culture may be one of the most powerful forces in nature. So the next time you see an orca rising from the ocean, remember what you're witnessing. Not just a powerful predator, not just a skilled hunter, but a member of a society, a creature carrying generations of shared knowledge, a voice shaped by family, tradition, and culture. Because beneath the waves, the ocean is not silent. It is filled with conversations, some familiar, some ancient, some still waiting to be understood. And as nature continues to reveal its secrets, orcas remind us of something remarkable. Intelligence is not measured only by strength, or size, or power. Sometimes it is measured by the stories a family continues to tell, even when those stories are spoken in a language we cannot yet fully understand. The wild always teaches.